So, Jono, a difficult afternoon in the end, ends as a 1-0 defeat. How do you just begin to assess that one?
Whenever you lose, they're difficult, Jacob. Let's be clear with that. You know, you never lose and go, that was great. So when we lose a game of football, they're difficult afternoons because we all struggle with accepting losses. But getting beaten... Look, our issue today was our performance in the first half, which mirrored the performance in the first half against Chorley, in all fairness. But against Chorley, obviously, we backed up in the second half with a really good performance. Second half today, in my opinion, we were similar without building too much pressure. We didn't create opportunities. We didn't get in areas of the pitch, the final third, where we could ask the right questions. I can't actually remember a real shot at the goal where I thought, that was unlucky, really. But we had lots of ball in and around the box and in the opposition's half, but didn't do anything that made us think we deserved something out of the game. And likewise, Marine. You know, you can't forget too many chances and opportunities that they've had. Matt's not had to make a save from them. But what they are good at, like us and like Chorley, is set pieces. And the decision making on the set piece, prior to the set piece, the corner, to let it try and go out rather than just dealing with it and defending it, cost us. And it's a great header from the lad. And to be fair, they had one in the first half. I think it was Butler beat his man and headed one over. So, you know, that was a let off. That was a bit of a warning. But from an away performance point of view from Marine, very good. You know, you set up a bit like what we did against Buxton, to be fair, and nullified us to lots of ball, but very little in the way of opportunities.
Certainly so. Maybe the main difference between Chorley and today's fixture against Marine, changing personnel in terms of the starting 11, 3 notable changes. Dudley, Navarro and Harrison Wood all enter in terms of the starting 11. What was the rationale behind that?
Jordan's banned. Brad Jackson is poorly. He's been ill. So he's been staying away. Lewis Maynard's had it as well for the last 2 weeks. That's why he's not been involved. And then the other two, we've been nursing Josh Hancock back from an injury, an hamstring injury. And Tom Walker's played a hell of a lot of games, and we wanted to be able to use the bench because at some point, whether it be this Tuesday, we'd have had to do it anyway. So we're trying to rotate and use the squad to sort of hopefully minimise the chance of injuries with the amount of games we've played and what we've got coming up. That wasn't the reason we lost the game. It had nothing to do with it. You know, none of the lads coming in, whether it be Dodds, Regan, Riley, obviously who had his first start since a long layoff, or the 2 wide players in Luca and Harrison, had anything to do with why we conceded. They might be the reason we didn't win the game, but they weren't the reason that we lost it. You know, that was through experienced players not marking a man or not dealing with a long ball that came onto us, and that's fine. But you can't do anything about bans. Well, the player can, for obvious reasons, and you can't do anything about illness. But we're a good side. Half the teams had to be changed today through mitigation and through personal choice. That might be the reason why we lost the game. I don't think it is, but we're going to have to do that over the next few weeks. You know, we'll have to wait and see what happens to Jude. It doesn't look good, if I'm honest. But we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to be able to use the whole squad. It's been great that we've been on a run, but we can't keep flogging the same players because that's when the injuries come. So we've got to reassess where we're at, and maybe the same happens again on Tuesday, but we're not sure at this moment in time.
I suppose the great thing about football is we'll always get the opportunity to respond Tuesday. Obviously, you know, vastly approaching. What are your early thoughts going into that one?
I say this every time we have a Saturday, Tuesday game. I haven't got a clue, don't know. I haven't done any real work on Peterborough apart from what we already know when we played them the other month. And that's because we've been concentrated on the Marine game. Tonight, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday will all be about what Peterborough look like. Unfortunately, it's done over the laptop and video analysis as opposed to being able to get on the training ground. That applies to Peterborough, doing it to us as well. But you bang on, it's an opportunity to bounce back. That's all it is, each game are opportunities to bounce back. But if someone had offered us the run that we've been on over the last 3 weeks, with the run of games that we've had and the points total, we'd have took that. We'd have absolutely snatched your hand off for it. But it doesn't take away the disappointment of losing the game. But we're going to lose more games. It's how we bounce back and react to them defeats.
Certainly is. Ultimately, like you said there, we've been on a great run of form. Is it about now not getting too low from today's defeat as well?
Yeah, and we tried not to get too high after the wins. You know, the great wins against good sides. But Marine are a tough team to play against. You know, you can see how they set up. They beat Kiddie on Tuesday night. You know, they're in a similar battle to us. I know they've got a lot less games left to play, but they've got something to play for. You know, it's not a mid-table team that are just trying to see the season out. So that was a hell of a tough game off the back of a long run. Same for Marine. But you've got to take medicine sometimes. We know why we lost the game. We could see it. It was plain as day. And we didn't going forward. One, due to us and our inability to create the right opportunity, but also their defending. It was outstanding, just like ours was against Chorley and Buxton and the other games that we've won. So you've got to give credit sometimes to the opposition of what they're doing.
Is the other pleasing thing that it ultimately still remains in our hands in terms of those games that we've got in hand as well?
What we're talking about?
In terms of fighting the relegation?
Oh yeah, we just concentrate on the next game. We don't look at that. You know, there's. I think if we win our games in hand, we can go up to mid-table. Obviously, if we're going to lose 3, 4, 5 on a bounce, and the teams below us win their games, then you're in a relegation battle. But the season isn't defined by looking 10, 12, 15 games ahead. We just deal with the next game. In fact, I put something on Twitter this week and someone said, you can relax a bit. You know, if you get complacent in this league, you finish bottom. It's as simple as that. So from our point of view, we just concentrate on the next game.